I did an ancestry DNA test around Christmas 2019, so right before the pandemic, and I did it mostly just to get an idea of what my ethnicity was, along with getting my ethnicity results. You also get a list of people whose DNA is just a match with yours. At the top of my list was Malcolm, and he had we had a significant amount of centimorgans. Centimorgans is a unit of DNA measurement. I finally told my dad about it, but that I wasn't 100% sure, but I figured it was on his side of the family.
The determining factor was when Geoff told me all about this, and then I think they had been exchanging emails, and he sent a picture, Malcolm had sent a picture of himself, and I think that was the one that Geoff said, well, you better take a look at this. That picture, and I'll show you a picture of my father, Malcolm is the spitting image of my father, which was something that just blew my mind to the point that I thought, okay, there's something going on here, but I still wasn't, completely convinced. And then Malcolm had some background with respect to where he was born, which was Bournemouth, and I looked through my dad's, war files of the log that he had, and sure enough, Dad was in Bournemouth. Then I said, well, this is looking to be a lot more, certain, but I still wasn't really, really certain. And Geoff, got me that DNA kit, and I did the spit in the tube thing. And about 3 or 4 weeks later, it came back, and I was even higher than I was, at about 1,700 cms, as Geoff has just explained to you. So, as I said to Malcolm, conclusive that I don't think there's any doubt here in terms of that, Malcolm was my half-brother, or is my half-brother. And
after 70 odd years, what's it like to find out that you have a brother?
Well, for me, it was quite a surprise. I would turn it around. I mean, I've always thought about, for Malcolm, what he went through, because he had no idea who his parents were. He'll tell you that part of the story, but I'm just so glad for Malcolm that he's been able to find out his family.
You wonder what you look like, what your parents look like, where'd you come from,
right?
All that sort of stuff. Born in 46 and was put in a foster home, and I was adopted shortly after that. I'd previously found a half sister in UK, so I knew I had a half sister, and I'd been looking for my mother for quite some time, but with no results. And then I get this hit from Geoff, and saying that we could be family and everything like that, and that what followed were photos of my father, and absolutely amazing.
Were you immediately convinced?
Yeah. Because if this had happened 2 years previous with my English half sister, the same sort of scenario. After all this was confirmed, and a great story, I thought, I've got to try and find my mother now, just to complete the picture. It would be fantastic. So I contacted a genealogist. It was on a Saturday. I rang her up. She said, can I have access to your DNA and stuff like that? I said, yeah, fine. I said, well, how do you think you'll get on? She says, I usually find them, she said. And she phoned me on the Tuesday, 3 days afterwards. She said, I found that your family. I got a 3-page dossier on all my English side, my mother's side.
You're in your 70s, and you went your whole life not knowing your mum and dad and your extended family,
Not at all.
And now you know both the origin, your mum and dad, and you have,
story.
And you're sitting here today with your brother.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
What does that feel like?
Oh, fantastic! And they've been so amazing,
Yeah.
Great. It's the icing on the cake for me. It's complete. My story's complete.